Hey, welcome to New Moon Wellness. I'm Char, and this week's flow is all about the ovulation phase. The ovulation cycle is about igniting that fire and that power to tap into our authentic self. So grab your mat, find a spot, and let's get this flow started. Let's begin today's practice by starting, of course, in an easy seated position on our mat, getting comfortable. Taking in that first breath for the practice and breathing it out. Place your hands over your womb or over your abdomen and take a deep breath in, filling the belly with air, and exhale, blowing it all the way out. Inhale and exhale. Start to come into the present moment here for this practice today by just relaxing the body, letting the mind start to focus on what is happening right here and right now. And on this next inhale, we're going to hold it at the top. So inhale, hold for 3, 2, 1, exhale, release. One more time, inhale all the way in, holding it at the top for 3, for 2, 1, and exhale, release. Drop that left ear to left shoulder. Use your hand to kind of open up even more on that right side body, the right side of the neck. And center. And exhale, drop that right ear to right shoulder. Pull the head down a little bit closer and then let gravity do the rest of the job. And inhale, come back up to the center. Pick those shoulders up, roll them down, and massage the spine. Starting to also open up in the chest, letting it be proud and strong. Take that big breath in. And an even bigger breath out. And go ahead and extend your right arm across from you diagonally. Take your left arm, place it underneath, and fold at that elbow. And bring that arm closer to you. You can rotate your wrist here. You can wiggle your fingers here, whatever feels good. We're going to come into this nice deltoid stretch. And exhale, release, shake it out. Rest that left hand down. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Bend at the elbow so those fingers are almost tickling the top part of your back. Take your left hand and place it on that right elbow. Frame the body. Proud chest. Breathe in deep and exhale. Lean over to the left. Still framing that body. Really letting the skin stretch across your ribs and your arms. And come back up to the center. Exhale over to the right, keeping that tailbone rooted down and opening up, kind of pulling the shoulders back so you can really get into this framed stretch. Come back up through the center, reach the arms up, and rotate the wrist on the way down. And as always, if you hear little clicks and movements in your joints, totally normal. I'm surprised that you're not hearing this happen to me all the time. And we're going to extend the left arm this time diagonal. Right arm comes underneath. Fold that left arm closer to you. Wiggle the fingers here. Rotate the wrist. Find what feels good, because today is all about embracing pleasure and finding what feels good to you. Go ahead and release. Shake it out. Drop that right hand, reach the left arm up, inhale, exhale, bend at the elbow. Take your right hand, place it on top of that left elbow, and start to frame the body, really opening up in the chest, getting a cleansing breath in. Exhale, lean over to the left. and center. And come over to the right. Perfect. Center. Reach the arms up. Rotate the wrist opposite sides this time. Hands come down to the mat. Pick those shoulders up and drop them down. Pick the shoulders up, really squeezing. Exhale, release. Pick them back up. Exhale, release. Perfect. Place your hands on your knees and we're going to take some torso circles. So breathing in deep and exhale, coming down. Inhale on the way up. Just really getting into that hip movement, really exaggerating the arms and the elbows so you can go as deep as you want. Play with this movement. It's yours to play with. This is your body. You're just exploring and embracing what feels good once you find it. That's what the joy of exploration is all about with yoga. And go ahead and take it the opposite way. Exhale on that way down. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down. And pick it up and bring it around town. One more time. Bring it around down. If you love SpongeBob like I do, let me know, because I incorporate his quotes everywhere. We're going to place our hands on our knees and take a few seated cat-cows to really let that energy flow in between the body. So inhale, push the chest out, carve the nose up. Into cow, exhale, dome the spine, chin to chest. Into cat. And go back and forth between these two. Use your own breath as a cue. With that inhale coming into cow. And the exhale pushing back into cat. And we're going to take 5 movements like this. And I'll let you cue yourself with your own breath. Good job. Last cycle. And come back into a neutral tabletop or neutral spine. Inhale, sweep those arms up, interlace the fingertips and turn the palms up to the ceiling, really stretching here. Exhale, open and place your hands on the mat, coming into a tabletop position. Knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. And tuck the toes under, step it back into downward facing dog. Breathe here, a few cleansing breaths. Breathing in that abundance, that fertility that comes with this ovulation cycle. And breathing out. Breathing in, embracing that power, igniting the fire that comes from within, and exhale. Bend through the knees here as deeply as you can and what feels comfortable. If you're in downward facing dog and you need 2 blocks underneath your left and right hand, go get it. If you come on your tippy toes in downward facing dog, that is perfect. You do not have to show up perfect or able to recreate the pose exactly like a yoga teacher or like what you see online. So just a reminder here that your yoga is perfect the way that you have it right now. Inhale, look up and make your way to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Really let that belly lean on the lap here, bend in through the knees, and inhale, root to rise, reach up. Palms come together, hands to heart center. And let's bring that intention to the forefront of our mind as we flow in this ovulation phase. It's usually 1 week, and we have our body at its warmest temperature of the entire cycle. And we're going to use that to keep that warming up, to keep that creativity channeling throughout the body today, and just having this intention to embrace your inner power, to ignite this inner power, to let it flow, to let it be free, to explore that pleasure and showcase it and to be it, to show up as your authentic self. So that is the intention, to really embrace your inner power and unleash it. Inhale, bend through the knees, drop the chin to chest, root to rise, reach up. And exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, back flat, heart facing the horizon. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, bend through the knees, root to rise, reaching up, space between each finger. And exhale, dive it down, back into forward fold. Perfect. Inhale, halfway lift, back flat. Exhale, hands come down. Bending through the knees here. Inhale, root to rise, reach the arms up. Exhale, dive it down, coming back into that forward fold. Go ahead and shake the head no, nod the head yes. And breathe it out, bend into the knees here. Kind of just rocking back and forth between those toes and the heels. Take some time to space out the toes, which help you grip the mat. And start to spread those toes out evenly on the mat. These toes and our feet are the foundation for each asana, each yoga pose that we do. So just take some time to allow some space between each toe so they can firmly support and balance us. Inhale, bend in through the knees, root to rise, reach the arms up, space between each finger. Palms come together. This time take your right foot, cross it over that left, and exhale, stretch over to the left. Hands still together. Come back to the center. Reframe the feet. Take that left foot this time. Guide it over the right. And twist over to the right. Up to the center. Find your balance. If you're like me, still finding it for today, take your right foot, guide it over the left. Stretch over to the left. And center. Take the left foot, guide it over the right. And twist over to that right side. And center. Rotate those wrists on the way down. And roll the shoulders down and back. And we're going to heel toe the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. And open up our arms, coming into a 5-pointed star. Bring those shoulders down and back. Point the toes out a little bit further, kind of pointing to the corners of your mat. Have a micro bend in your knees so they're not completely locked. And we're going to come into this 5-pointed star, really in the pose of unleashing this inner power that we have and igniting this inner power. Breathe in here, deep into the belly. And exhale, breathe it out. Start to hinge at the hips, bend into the knees to come into a wide-legged pose. If you need to adjust your feet, feel free to. If you need to bend into the knees and kind of sway left and right, feel free to. Shake the head again and nod it again. Inhale, bend into the knees, reach the arms up, come back into that 5-pointed star. And this time, exhale, bend into the knees, bend into the arms, cactus arms, toes pointed out to the corners of the mat as we come into full goddess pose. Bring those shoulders back, pushing the chest out strong in full goddess position, ready to take on the world, really embracing this power that we all have. And we want the bottom of our tailbone all the way to the crown of our head to be truly aligned. So let your spine stack vertebrae by vertebrae all the way to the top. Space between each fingers, and you can wiggle them if you want to, and our legs are strong. Breathe in here for 5 breaths. You got this. Find your balance in between these poses. Readjust yourself as needed, but no matter what, you do have this. Just embrace it. Embrace this pose fully. Last breath. And straighten up through the knees. Reach the arms up. Coming into a 5-pointed star. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Forward fold, heel toe the feet. And I'm just going to move to the front of the mat again. Coming into that forward fold, really deep bend here. And breathe it out. Right hand comes onto the mat, bending through that right knee and twist up on the left side. Wiggling the fingers once you get there. Exhale, come back down. Twist over on the right side, bending into that left knee as you do. Exhale. Once again, take it over to the left side. Exhale. Twist. Last time, reach up with the right hand, bend into the left knee, and exhale. Forward fold. All right, bend into the knees, root to rise, reaching up. Head comes last as your palms come together, hands to heart center. Take a moment to catch your breath here. Take a sip of water, adjust yourself, do what's needed, but come back here into prayer pose. And we're going to reach the arms up. Palms come together, hands to heart center. And take it again. Arms come out to the side and then reach all the way up. Palms come together, hands back to heart center. And take it this flow for a few moments. Perfect. Hands come to heart center. We're just going to place our hands on our hips and take some pelvic circles. So just like we did with seated, just moving the body, bringing the hips in true SpongeBob fashion. Bring it around town. Just really unleashing any of that trapped energy that's in the hips, providing some stress relief, but also opening up something new, exploring something new. And take it the opposite way. Good job. And come back up to the center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Once your fingertips touch, take that left hand or left foot, guide it over the right, and twist over to the left. Come back through to the center, right leg over the left, reach over to the right. Perfect. Come back to the center. And again, left leg over the right, twist over to the left. Come back up through to the center. Last time, right leg over the left, reach over to the right. Perfect. Come back up to the center, rotate the wrists down, and let's hinge at the hips, coming into a deep forward fold. Really bending into the knees here. And let's drop the right knee to the mat, followed by the left knee, and sit down as we come into a bound ankle position. So the bottoms of the feet touch. Just collapse your toes with your hands and just wiggle the legs, kind of just opening up the hips further. Perfect. And this time, we're going to plant the feet on the mat. Knees still bent. Take that right foot, place it on top of the left knee, hands back behind you, pointed away from you. And we're just going to walk our hands out a little bit further. Drop the head and sigh it all out. Coming into a seated swan pose. Just breathe here. Let that fire that we ignited move in between the body, flowing in and around us with each breath. Lift the head, plant that right foot, and left foot comes up, place it on the right knee. As we drop the head, coming back into a seated swan. 3 breaths like this. Lift the head, plant that left foot down, and we're going to heel toe it out to the sides of our mat and just drop one knee at a time. And it does not have to touch the mat. Just dropping it one at a time to kind of counter that seated swan that we have. And scoot up a little bit so you have enough room to lean back, coming into a supine bound angle. So our left foot and our right foot are going to kiss as we recline all the way down. You could push through your head to kind of shimmy your shoulder blades underneath you. Just place your hands on opposite sides of the thighs and breathe in here. Really bringing awareness to this womb during our ovulation phase. The phase that ignites everything inside of us to move, to create, to take action, to be inspired. So just have some gratitude for that phase. This phase is not just for having babies. This phase is for true creation. A few more breaths like this. And inhale, close the legs together like you're closing a book. Bring that right knee to chest, followed by the left, and give yourself a big hug, lifting the head and dropping the head. Point the toes, ballerina toes, and pick the toes up, space between each toe. Point the toes, squeezing them all together. Peel the toes back like you're touching your shin, and point. Perfect. Now go ahead and unbind your hands and then take the knees and guide them over to the left side, coming in a supine spinal twist. Open up the arms to a T, or if you want, you could use cactus arms. Knees still bent at that 90-degree angle, by the way, and just take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Let gravity bring you closer to the mat. Let your mind continue to stay focused on the present moment. Be aware of how you feel between each asana, each yoga pose. And as you stretch deeper into this spinal twist, your body starts to explore what it feels like to really settle in new positions that it may not be used to, which is perfect for this practice today. And just why I love spinal twist in general, even though it's something that we've done one time or the other without even knowing that it's a yoga pose, it always makes you feel good and always just helps you come back to that center mind, which I love. Come back to the center, knees to chest, wrap your arms around, lift that head again. Exhale, release the head, take the hands and guide them over to the right side this time. Arms open up to a T. You guessed it, breathe out. Let the weight of your body be supported by Mother Earth. Bring that mind back to the breath. The most active thing that's happening with you right now is the rise and fall of your belly as you inhale and exhale. And inhale, come back to the center, knees to chest. One last hug for today. You don't have to lift your head if you don't want to. And exhale, extend that left leg out, extend the right leg out as we come into our final pose, Savasana, aka corpse pose. Breathe in here, big belly breath in. And breathe out. Just focus on being that authentic self that lies within. You already are. So it's time to embrace this power that is already in you and ignite that fire to create what you want to create, to say what maybe you haven't been saying, to really lift yourself up. That is what this phase is all about. To create what lies inside already and bring it to that reality. So let's focus on that and bring that intention to the forefront of our mind as we lie in Savasana. And let's come back to the conscious body, bringing that awareness to the feet, all the way through the legs, the thighs and the hips, the belly and the back, the chest and shoulders, our arms and our fingers, our neck, our head and our ears, and lastly, the mind. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Come over to the side, resting on your arm. Make your way up back into a seated position. Inhale, reach the arms up. Palms come together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bow the head. And just remember to stay authentic to that inner power that we all have. Embrace it. Let it be ignited and stay ignited. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this yoga phase flow for our ovulation phase. I really think that it's extremely helpful to have a practice that goes with each flow that we have within our bodies. So next week is going to be the luteal phase, and I'm really excited about that. So subscribe to support my channel, and of course stay up to date on all the yoga videos, and like, share, comment so this gets out and I can help more people. I really appreciate every single time that you leave a comment and you like. So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.